with me today is Amy Mutale, and me and Amy are really excited to announce our new trip in February for Egypt. But first, we're going to talk a little bit about what's been going on in the energy, and then we'll take you to why this trip is so important and after what we all been going through. So, Emmy, welcome. Thank you
Thank
again for coming
thank
on. I'm so excited for our trip. And I know I'm getting chills as I'm saying this, that I'm excited because I always get excited about trips, but I think this is going to be a very powerful one because, of all the things that we've been going through as humanity.
Mhm.
And right now, as we're talking, we're between two eclipses. So, you know, that's also a very important time to find the right time between the two eclipses to kind of download this new information that has been coming to our bodies and to humanity, because I think our bodies is growing as with the new energies. We're getting to the next level. We're releasing all this darkness. So let's go for it. Let me know, what do you think, and what's been going on.
Yeah, absolutely. I think what we've really been seeing on the collective level and really in a heightened way within ourselves is this crumbling of the old ways. So old habits, old patterns, old ways that we think of ourselves, that we think of our others, that we think of the collective. And it, at least for me, it really seems like everything that no longer serves has really just bubbled up to the surface. And of course, that's not an easy process because it can really, really take us to the depths. But it's taking us to the depths so that we can really just let go of that which no longer serves, surrender to the process because we are being held by forces that are so much greater than us, and surrender to this holding and to an ever greater trust that everything is exactly as it's meant to be. And as humans living in this 3D reality that is throwing a lot of challenges to a lot of us at the moment, really just remembering that the most important thing right now is to look after ourselves, to really love on ourselves, go gentle on ourselves, and do whatever we can to support our bodies, our physical vehicles for the spirits that we are, and make sure that we're eating really healthy and nutritious foods, drinking lots of water and really beautiful herbal teas, and looking after our bodies also from the movement perspective. So going for walks or doing yoga or qigong or whatever is your cup of tea, but really making sure that we are rooting and grounding into our bodies and looking after our bodies, because we are going through a process of upgrade as a collective and as individuals. And the energies that we're processing, the energies that are passing through our bodies are huge. They're
Yeah,
really huge.
I
And
agree.
honoring that and
Yeah.
honoring whatever it is that is coming through for us to heal and transmute and alchemize, as we were talking earlier before you pressed the record button, to really to get to our next level of evolution and to become who we're meant to be in this lifetime. You
Yeah.
might be feeling this well, Zefi, but I think we're being called to really step into our power in a bigger way than ever before, and really allow that next level of evolution to come through in a way that serves us the most.
I agree. And also, I just want to add, as we talked about it before, is the toxicity. When we
Mm.
live around toxic environments, we have to make a stand for it. Do we deserve this in our lives or we don't, When we say we don't want it anymore, we have to like stick to that, like ground
Mm.
that energy. We don't want to live in this environment anymore. And it can be just the negativity around the world. It can be what we're hearing on TV, turn the TV off, for example. Not, people, they're very toxic and very negative. I think also when we say that, we should not be plugged in emotionally, because, we say something and then we get plugged in emotionally and we just like say, oh yeah, forgive this and move forward. No, we have to stick to our word. And I know I done it in my life, and I know a lot of people are doing that. And I think that's the hardest part, is to stand still when you make that
Mm.
choice and that decision, you know? And
Yeah.
and I mean, I know people that are going through it, you know? So
Mhm.
it's sticking to that. And I think that's also where the growth comes in, don't you think? When we really
Mm.
stick to what feels the correct thing for us, and we're not getting dragged in the emotional thing.
Yeah, very, very true. So it's those healthy boundaries that are
Yes.
so very important right now. And then honoring ourselves at the deepest possible level by not allowing those boundaries to crumble when the old patterns start to kick in, when the people that are part of that toxic environment start to try and push in. How do we find the strength and the courage to stay grounded in our truth and keep those boundaries up in a way that doesn't hurt others, but keeps us safe and keeps us rooted into our own power as well? So that, I think, is in many ways the gold, the gift, the treasure of the current process and the time that we are in. Um, and you mentioned that sometimes it can be easy to say that I forgive that person or forgive this person, but how truly, how deeply are we doing that forgiveness process? And how gentle are we being with ourselves in that forgiveness process? Because, I mean, we are humans, we've made mistakes as well. We continue to make mistakes, and none of us are perfect. We're still very much works in progress throughout our lives. But how do we bring that forgiveness process authentically towards ourselves and towards our loved ones that sometimes are the cause and the reason for the toxic patterns that we're experiencing? And how do we release that in a way that supports all of us at
Yes.
the highest level?
But everybody, even the toxic environment, how
Exactly,
do we
exactly.
stand still to that and also be gentle at the same time? So
Yeah.
yes. And I think when we do that, and we have, I think, a little bit more time on that, I think a couple more months through this craziness and the shifting and all that, which will get us to our trip in February. And I think
Mm.
then our actually will be ready to get ready for this, how do we say, really not let go, because I think when we get to Egypt, it's not about letting go, because we're gonna already have done that, but it's really taken in. It's really bringing all the ceremony and all the, the work that we're going to do with the women, that is going to help them really feel all that stuff that just released. Because I kind of see this trip for us in February is a trip of like filling our bodies with all this beautiful energy, and
Mm.
really just saying, wow, this is why I've been going through this. That's why, my stuff is coming out and is releasing, and my body feels a little bit empty, but I need to nurture it and take care of it. And I have a feeling, just intuitive feeling, again, I'm getting chills, that this is what our trip is about. This is why
Mm.
me and you decided to do our trip in February, and around the time of 17th of February. We'll give you everybody more details. But do you want to add something to that?
No, what you're saying resonates very strongly as well. And I mean, because it is such a beautiful blend of sacred ceremony at these temples and the pyramids, together with really just going deep within through beautiful group process work as we are going down the Nile on the boat or up the Nile on the boat. And the, the group dynamics themselves will be super powerful and super magical when we come together in sacred circle, each one of us committed and dedicated to our own healing and to the collective healing on our planet and beyond. The magic is really palpable and very powerful. So it really will be a chance to go deeper and deeper within, whilst being held by the group and by you and I, and allowing for deeper truths to surface, for our bodies to be nourished and nurtured by the energy and the beautiful food that we're going to be eating, as well as then allowing whatever still needs to surface for healing to come through in that supportive and sacred space.
Yeah, and going up the Nile, it's a very interesting process, because going up the Nile, we're going up through the chakras of the body also.
Mm. Mm.
And, you know, it's a really interesting process to realize that you go up and you start from like kind of the first chakra and you get to the seventh. And it's kind of interesting why, you know, people say why to go up the chakras, but that is also, you go up the chakras to connect with spirit, but we also going to come down through the body in the chakras and get rooted. So it's an interesting process going up the Nile and getting to the top, you know, and going through different temples that represents a different chakra, a different energy, and doing the, you know, the womb work that we're going to be doing at the Priestess Island and, you know, in Aswan and all this stuff. And of course, the womb is the most, I think, is if the womb is really specific for women and men, because you know, and men maybe don't have a womb, but they have the feminine side, of course, but
The energetic womb.
and the energetic womb, exactly. And what's happening is the creativity. So once that gets clear, then a creativity really starts flowing, you know, and going up the chakras and down the chakras and bringing all that together as a beautiful energetic thing. I think, you know, it is really how do you say, serves us and also serves the collective in a bigger level for the transformation that we all need to go through, because we're
Mm.
transforming. I think we're definitely transforming. And February, I think it's a very important month. You know, it's my birthday there also. So,
That too.
you know, I love that. I love going to Egypt. This is my third time in Egypt on my birthday. So the transformation takes place, you know, the big
Mm.
transformation takes place.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And also remembering that the womb really is a portal, a portal into other dimensions, portal into deep mystical knowing and connection to our ancestors, to our mother lines, to our father lines. And it is, as you say, a portal into creativity, to creation, to birthing ourselves into the beings we want to be as we move forward. So there's a lot of beautiful nuances that we're weaving together into this retreat. And just being able to spend time on the Nile, by the water, the life-giving water of the Nile, and then going into these sacred spaces. I get the goosebumps now as well, going into these sacred spaces and doing ceremony and just taking in the energy of those places is going to be incredibly powerful.
And also allowing ourselves to trust each other and really hold each other in a circle, which is our womb space, like, as well, you know, just sitting in circle and really honoring every single part of ourselves. No matter what we go through, we can cry, we can laugh, we can, you know, whatever emotions comes up, because we need to do that. We need to release it. And you know, we can hold each other, releasing all that. And that's, I think that's a big, huge purpose of our trip, to really get the people to the next level, get the you know, to go through this trip as totally transformed and really not just remember it, but remembering, you know, because the Isis and the Mary Magdalene, they all gone through this transformation, which is part of my work and your work, you know. So just really remembering all that and calibrating, if I'm saying the right, recalibrating. I'm not saying that word.
Recalibrating.
Thank you. But you know, also, can you imagine, you know, think about it. We just like dialing a switch and shifting. I mean, I think that can be also an amazing process, just to change and shift that way as we're going up the Nile and to the different areas and to the different temples that have, you know, a different meaning for each chakra, and of course for the womb and everything that we're going to go through. And in the end, going to the snake goddess in the desert. I think that I can't wait for that. I cannot wait for that. And it's for me to spend the night in that desert. You know, I love deserts. You know, I lived in Sedona for many, many years, and I love the desert. And I think in Zambia, do you guys have deserts there?
No, not in Zambia. No.
We don't have deserts. Okay, I didn't know that. But staying in one night in the desert, I think it's also really powerful and really amazing, because the desert is red. You know, it's got that red energy, and just remember who has walked on and the ancestors, and what ceremonies has done there with the snake, which is the Kundalini energy, the snake goddess. So I think our trip, not for us to just push it on you or anything like that. It's a great trip. I think it's an amazing experience, and I can't wait to do it with everybody.
Absolutely. And I think, again, with the last night doing fire ceremony and sleeping on the desert is really then connecting us to our root chakras again, where we started, and really bringing this whole retreat to full circle and allowing us to connect with our wombs and with Mother Earth through this sand, through the rich density of the
Exactly.
desert.
It's
It's
not
gonna be
going up the
amazing.
chakras and going down the
Yeah.
chakras, which
Yeah.
is a powerful, powerful grounding experience for our bodies and for our soul. Because I
Yeah.
think also our soul needs bring all those pieces back together of remembering. That's also feels to me there will be also a soul retrieval when we get there.
In many ways.
In
In
many
many
ways,
ways.
yes.
Yeah.
Not that, it's going to happen. I think it's just going to happen as we go through
Mm.
this.
Yeah, it's gonna be amazing.
Yeah. So do you want to talk a little bit about the dates? And then we'll have
Yeah.
our websites and our information, our emails underneath this video. So you guys can get in touch with us and go through all this stuff. So I'll let Emily go a little bit through the typical things.
Yeah. So the dates are 17th to 25th of February, 2023. And we are going to be having the new moon on the 20th of February. So that will be a beautiful part of the retreat that we're going to weave into the program as well. And in terms of just briefly to mention the sacred sites that we're going to be connecting with, apart from the Nile itself, which is incredibly powerful, include Philae Temple and the Priestess Island, very, very powerful magical places, Komombo Temple, Edfu and Esna Temple, Dandara Temple, and then we have, we're going to be spending time at the King's Chamber within the Great Pyramid, also spending a little bit of time with the Sphinx, and then the final night will be at the desert. Medinet Madi, this archaeological site, is nearby to us, and we'll be visiting the Snake Goddess Temple, as Zephi mentioned. So super, super exciting itinerary. And Abydos, I even left out Abydos.
Yeah, you did.
Abydos Temple, my goodness me, one of the most powerful temples there is. So yeah, that's going to be part of our trip as well.
Yeah, so it's an exciting time. I can't wait for us to really start doing this work because, we meant to do this work together, not just me and you, but with everybody that's going to be with us. I think that's the most exciting thing, that the connection and the people that get it, that come with us, I think they're going to get a full, not just a full, I don't want to call it package, but a full experience.
A whole, it will be a whole experience, like whole as in whole, all encompassing in that sense. So yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So, just know that through this, we're holding you in our hearts and in our space, because it's not, it's not about you signing up to come with us. It's also about you really connecting to this energy, and we're definitely there because we all going through this together. We're not separate. And as we talked about, the energy is a very difficult one and hard, but when we get there, it will be new moon, so we're starting like a new energy. That's very great. The 20th will be the new energy as we're going up the Nile. So there we are, we releasing, we let go, we, empty all the stuff that we're going through, to emptying our bodies, and then like the moon does, correct? And then we fill it with a new energy. So anyway, thank you for this, Emmy. It was a beautiful one, and I think we're ready. We're ready to get to the next level and help as many people as we can out there with this process. And that was good. I feel very, very blessed to go there with you. Very blessed.
Me
And
too.
to work with you. Yeah.
Thank
So
you.
namaste, everyone. Thank you so much for watching us. Take care.